Even though you're in your 20s, you've probably learned a thing or two about money. You may have even been through some tough financial times, like being unemployed for an extended period of time or having to deal with student loans. But now that you are thinking of getting your finances under control and trying to figure out how to save for retirement and maybe buy a house, it's time to make sure you don't make the same mistakes again. Welcome to SME-Hype, where I'm talking about gaining financial freedom, making money online, and growing your business. If you have not subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? And remember, it's free. Here are 8 common money traps that many 20-somethings fall into. Number 1. Spending money on things you don't actually need. A lot of the money traps we fall into involve buying things we don't actually need. It's easy to think that you need something because it's on sale or someone recommends it, but in reality, it may be a waste of money. Avoid this trap by only purchasing items when they're necessary and practical for your life at that moment. If an item won't be useful to you in the future, don't buy it just because there's a discount or because everyone else is getting it too. Be smart about how much you spend. Make sure each purchase is worth the price tag. 2. Not saving at least 20% of your earnings. It's important to save, but how much is enough? The answer depends on your circumstances. The main thing to consider is your debt situation. If you don't have any, then it makes sense to keep saving until your emergency fund is at least 6 months' worth of living expenses. If you do have debt, however, and most people do, then it's time to become more aggressive about paying off that debt as quickly as possible. That means putting all the money you can toward paying down those balances and potentially even having them paid off before reaching the 6-month mark. Once you've got a healthy emergency fund built up and have made serious progress on paying down existing debts, start thinking about building wealth for long-term financial goals like buying a house or retiring early or just enjoying life now. Now that you know the basics of how to start saving money, let's look at some specific ways to get started. There are many different strategies for saving money, but one of the most effective is simply paying yourself first. Before you spend a single dollar on anything else each month, set aside some amount into savings, whether it's $50 or $500. If you don't have much wiggle room in your budget right now because all your money is going towards bills and living expenses, there are plenty of ways to cut back, like cooking more meals at home instead of going out often. 3. Not paying down your college debt as quickly as possible. If you have any type of student loan debt, it's one of your biggest financial challenges. For example, student loan debt has been on the rise since 1999 and has more than doubled in the past decade. The average American under 30 now owes $26,000 in student loans. You may be able to deduct up to $2,500 in interest paid on this debt if you're single or filing jointly with a spouse who isn't claimed as a dependent on someone else's tax return. If your income is below $80,000, $160,000 for joint filers, your deduction may be as much as $2,500 plus half of any remaining amount over that threshold. So the question is, how quickly should you pay off your debt? If you're in a position to do so, you may want to prioritize this over other financial goals. For instance, it's generally a good idea to contribute at least 10% of your salary to a retirement account, such as a 401k or IRA account. But if you have student loan debt, it may be wise to put some of that money toward paying down the balance before starting or growing your retirement accounts. 4. Spending too much on rent. On average, most people spend about half their income on rent. That's a lot of money that could be used to invest, save, and grow your wealth. If you are paying more than 30% of your income in rent, it is likely that you are not making the most out of what you earn. Renting means paying a landlord every month for space that they own, which does not help build equity or get you closer to buying your own home one day. While many millennials are looking to live in the city, rent can be quite expensive there. Even if you're living in a relatively inexpensive neighborhood, it is still important to consider how much you are paying for just space and whether that money could be better utilized elsewhere. Those who do not own homes will pay more than $821 billion in rent this year. If you are living in an expensive city and paying a large percentage of your income towards rent, there are many ways to reduce the amount that you pay each month. For instance, consider moving closer to public transportation or even carpooling with friends. Living close to work can mean more time spent relaxing at home and less money spent on commuting costs. If you have the option of renting with roommates, this could also be an affordable way for you to live in a nicer part of town. 5. Being wasteful about food. The American Heart Association recommends that people consume a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and grains. It's not enough to just buy the produce, you have to use it. You can buy frozen vegetables and dried beans in bulk, which saves time on prep work. If you're not cooking at home, consider investing in a meal delivery service like HelloFresh. If your budget is tight, try making one dinner each week that you can eat throughout the week as leftovers. This will help save money on food costs, while also reducing waste, which means less money spent on trash bags. You might think is nothing, but every penny counts. It doesn't have to be a difficult task. With proper planning and some simple measures, you can cut the cost of your food budget in half or even more. 6. Inadequate healthcare coverage. All UK residents are automatically entitled to free public healthcare through the National Health Service. Outside the UK, a lack of adequate health insurance coverage can be an enormous stressor, especially for young people. If you don't have a job that provides health coverage and you don't have the money to buy it on your own, you'll need to make some tough decisions about your future finances. There are two kinds of health insurance: private and public, often called Medicaid. Private plans are more expensive but offer more options. Medicaid is free government-funded coverage for low-income families. Many states in America allow people who are under 26 years old to remain on their parents' policies until they reach that age or graduate college. So if this is an option for you, take advantage of it. If you are in a country that does not provide such insurance, then you have to put some money aside to cover your medical expenses. Number 7. Spending all of your money on your wedding. Even now, many people start saving for their weddings in their 20s. Because your wedding is such an important occasion and you only get married once, it could seem like you have to spend a lot of money on it. The money trap is there though because it's an opportunity cost. The money you're spending on one day could be used to invest in ways to increase your wealth. Make sure you only spend a lot on your wedding if you can actually afford it, and not just because you feel obligated to. Keep in mind that starting a true family comes after getting married. Decide to spend lavishly only if you can afford it. This is one common money trap to avoid in your 20s. 8. Deciding on buying a car or a house. For most people, a car and a home are the two largest personal assets they will acquire in their lifetime. Both are significant financial investments and, naturally, joyful accomplishments. So, which should you purchase, a car or a home? First, before making an investment of any kind, it's crucial to conduct due diligence, run the figures, and weigh your options. One of the most crucial factors to take into account when deciding whether to purchase a house or a car first is your unique situation. The choice between a car and a house is not clear-cut. Therefore, it's critical to consider your present circumstances. A house deposit may be a wiser investment than a new car, for instance, if you reside in a major city like London with first-rate public transportation and expensive real estate costs. Nevertheless, many Londoners opt to possess a car and enjoy its benefits. Purchasing a vehicle, on the other hand, may be a better option if you reside in a small city, town, or village where owning a car would be a major benefit in your day-to-day life and homeownership isn't a huge challenge. Don't make the mistake of buying a car or a house, because others are doing so without considering your personal circumstances. Also remember, there are hidden costs of buying a car or a house. The hidden costs of car ownership includes car insurance, vehicle tax, fuel, parking, depreciation, servicing, and maintenance. And the hidden costs of homeownership includes insurance, property taxes, general maintenance and upkeep, and interest rates on your mortgage. Should I buy a car or a house first? Is a question that ultimately depends on your individual situation. You should think about your present financial condition, as well as aspects of your lifestyle and preferences. You can determine if owning a car makes sense for you and if it's a wise financial move by considering what I have just said. Final thoughts. The best way to avoid making money mistakes in your 20s is to be aware of them. You're in a unique place right now because you have time to make up for your errors. If you take the time to learn and grow, your future self will thank you for it. It's also important to keep your finances in good working order. Your 20s are an excellent time for saving up for a house, retirement, or a car. It is never too early to start putting away money for these long-term goals. I hope that this video has given you some ideas and inspiration on some of the most common money traps to avoid in your 20s. By avoiding these 7 common money mistakes, you can ensure that your 20s are a time of financial health and freedom. The most important thing to remember is that you're not alone. There are many people out there who have made these same mistakes in their early years and recovered from them. If you can learn from their experiences, it will go a long way toward helping you find success with your own finances. Subscribe to this channel for more video like this. Share to other people who might be interested in this topic. Until next time, I am Lucia. Stay creative.
It's about the